Hey, it's Wade here with Messin with Mormons. Surprisingly enough, we're not going to be called that for much longer. We're going through a rebrand, which I'm sure some of you have heard in a past episode, but we've got a date for that. That'll be happening August 3rd. So on your podcast app in Google or Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to us through, the name's going to change. Listen to our episodes, find out what that name is, but that day will be August 3rd. So if you don't see Messin with Mormons anymore on your phone, you'll see our new name, and there'll be some more details to follow. With that being said, enjoy the show.
Welcome to Messin. Oh shit!
Too busy on your phone like the whole time, and then all of a sudden you get caught off guard.
I've been looking at the menu over, so I'm going to get into our special guest. I'm CD, by the way, everyone. It's Messin with the Mormons, episode 225, and I'm always joined by my boys. Ches, what's up, bro?
Not much. How you doing today?
And Wade, how you doing, my friend?
Good, man.
Melissa Diaz, how are you? You are our special guest today.
Oh, what's up, y'all?
To the listener, we're going to call you Diaz. Because I think that's your name, right? That's
it is my name, yeah.
You are the owner, proprietor of Sweet Vinyl Bakeshop.
'Tis I, yes.
The queen of the boozy cupcakes.
So I've heard. I don't think I like to be called that, but sure.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I prefer Metal Mistress.
Metal Mistress.
Okay.
That's so funny because when we go record podcasts, we always have a little meeting before and get to know each other. And I often hop in the car of our guest and, you know, kind of act as a co-pilot, and I get into your car and she fucking starts rocking out Judas Priest. So yeah, you are the Metal Mistress.
That's what I do.
So I was a little verklempt here because I was looking at some of you make boozy cupcakes for a lot of different breweries, and I was looking at Grid City here, and I got a little like, I'm just so excited to try all this stuff. And you actually brought some cupcakes for us to try too. So
I did, yeah. It's usually my move.
The listener, you might have to hear Ches and Wade gnaw on these delicious cupcakes.
Just gonna go ham on some frosting.
Like you get so mad about that. Like you can't eat on the air. Like it happens all the time. But you don't have to like I can move my mic like way over here, and nobody has to hear me eating, right?
I could
Is
still
it because you want someone to like vocalize what's happening while you're doing it, like a play-by-play for cupcake?
I think
eating?
he's offended by ASMR. He doesn't want to hear like the.
Oh.
Yeah, it kind of grosses you out, doesn't it?
Unless it's feet stomping like a watermelon or something.
Oh shit! Oh man, I'm getting called out here. Yeah, I don't know. I love cooking, and I appreciate you coming on the podcast because I definitely want to bend your brain about a few things because I feel like what you come up with, it's like you're the Russell Crowe of beautiful mind when you're like baking, like you see numbers across the.
Have you been inside my brain? Because she's crazy. It's a tornado, like at all times.
So yeah, cool. So tell us what you do basically. These cupcakes. There's a lot of breweries and local restaurants and that kind of bend your brain on.
Yeah, so basically if there's a beer release or just something that they want to be featured for the week, I get the new beer release before anybody else gets it. You know how that indie band that you heard before everybody else heard and then got popular? Yeah, I'm that kid.
kid.
Lucky.
So I get to try the beer before anybody else does. But then as soon as I get the beer, I literally have 3 days to create that cupcake. And I think that's the challenge. That's what I love about my job because... Say, the beer that I'm drinking right now, the Audubon Berliner Weiss from Salt Flats, which is delicious. So I have to figure out what I'm going to do to the cake, how I'm going to use the beer, what kind of frosting am I going to use? Am I going to create a specific topping for that cupcake? And all of that has to be figured out within 3 days because I have to go shopping, I have to execute, and then deliver.
We went to, Ches and I, we were at the Salt Flats Brewery Firkin, which is on Thursdays, and... This last week was they made a tiramisu blonde.
Yeah, they did.
And I'm not super into sweets. I love sweets. I was a smoker for 23 years. And when I quit smoking, my palate just exploded. I'm like, holy shit, what have I been missing out on? So I definitely appreciate sweets and more these days. But I was really excited because tiramisu is like one of my favorite fucking desserts of all the world. And I couldn't believe that we rolled up and I got this cupcake, and there's like literally a lady finger on top of the frosting. I'm like, oh, you went full out.
That's actually a Madeline. Because
pardon me, madam.
Yeah.
Madam.
I'm fancy. She cute. I've never made a tiramisu cupcake before. It was Mother's Day of like 2020, and one of my old regulars from Salt Fire, when I used to work there, he was like, "Hey man, have you ever made a tiramisu cupcake?" And I was like, "No, but that sounds cool. I love tiramisu. I don't drink coffee, but I like it in my dessert and in my beer." And so he was just like, yeah, he's like, I would love it for my mom. Like, can you just like make them for me? And I was like, okay. So I just like looked it up on like Google. Thanks, Google. And, figured out all the different components of the tiramisu itself. And I was like, all right, now flip it and turn it into a cupcake. And I've been making that same recipe since 2020.
That was going to be one of my questions is how do you prepare for, I'm sure you get all kinds of requests, but what's your process of like coming up with the idea? So I guess you answered it a little bit, which is you go to Google and you look at a bunch of recipes and then you come up with your own twist.
Right. Yeah. So, I get requests all the time by just random stuff. So the cupcakes that I brought for you guys, I got a request for Black Forest cake.
Okay.
I'd asked Ches what the Black Forest is. Maybe you can explain what that is.
It's just a chocolate cake with cherries. And traditionally it's just supposed to be super chocolate heavy, but I wanted to make it stand out. So instead of like a chocolate frosting, I did a cherry frosting. Mm-hmm. To kind
That's
of
a good idea.
Yeah, and I added bourbon because why not?
And so when you're working for a brewery and making these cupcakes, do you like say we're drinking the Berliner Weiss right now? Do you actually pour Berliner Weiss into?
Yeah. So
does it go into the batter, the frosting?
So it definitely goes into the batter. So it's part of my liquid that I use. Depending on the cupcake, I've made a car bomb cupcake before for St. Patty's.
Oh, hell yeah.
And my Bailey's cream cheese frosting slaps.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Bailey's cream cheese.
Is it St. Patrick's Day yet?
Right? I can make it for you whenever. But one of my regulars...
You put like a little corned beef on top too?
No. That's weird.
I don't know how you got from like Bailey's cream cheese to like you got corned beef on there.
Yeah,
the
the components of a car bomb are Guinness and then
you're
JMO
right,
and Bailey's. Yeah.
I'm thinking way too much Irish.
I do put I take the malt balls and I cut those up because I want it to be malty, right? A malty cupcake. So that's what I put on top of it.
Anything savory? Like, do you ever like put bacon or?
So when I worked for the different bake shop out of Austin, Texas, we did a jalapeno cornbread barbecue cupcake because we collabed. Why are you so mad?
I just got so excited about that. I was like, jalapeno cornbread? What the fuck?
Broke his laptop.
I know.
That laptop is done.
Oh my God. I can feel the sugar rush already. Holy shit.
You haven't even eaten a cupcake yet.
I know.
Either way, they partnered with a local barbecue pit master guy. And so we took their pulled pork, and that was what we put on top of the cupcake. But it was a savory cupcake. And so it worked really fucking well. I haven't done it myself since I worked for that company. And that was back in 2013. Maybe. Where's my barbecue people at? Let's go.
Oh, you're talking to 4 barbecue motherfuckers right now.
Yeah.
Someone give me pulled pork.
Ches?
Yeah.
I'll make some anytime you want.
Hell yeah.
What's usually the balance between like a sweet and savory? I'm sure you do more sweet than savory.
I do, yeah. So obviously sweet is more popular. The unique thing about the cupcakes that I bake is I don't want them to be a sugar bomb. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want you to eat it and be like, I'm going to get diabetes today. Like, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I still want you to be able to enjoy it without like attacking your taste buds with a lot of sugar. So I think that's super important to me. I've had cupcakes in the past and I'm just like, yo, I can't even get past the super sweet frosting.
I think that's like everybody's birthday cake when you were a kid, right? Is it had so much frosting on it, like that grocery store cake. When you're like, I really want a big piece, and you get through like a quarter of it, and you're like, this is way too rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just cooking and getting to know food better and being a better chef, and that you do need to balance things out. And like back in the day when you're 21 years old and like, hey, I can drink, and you make a whiskey and Coke, and it's just like whiskey,
Like
80-20. Coke, and you don't realize that it actually really tastes good if you make it right. And so you got to find that that good balance.
I mean, I think being in the service industry, being a bartender for the past 15 years definitely helped. I've worked in all different aspects. So I've worked in dive bars, I've worked in sports bars, I worked at cocktail bars. And so to know that in order for you to create a balance in anything, there has to be that, right? You have to specifically measure this. You can't be heavy-handed with that. And I think that knowledge translates so well. That's why I call myself a bake tender. Because I'm not I'm not a baker. I'm a bake tender.
That's bake tender. I like that.
It's totally like you got into this. It's almost like, I don't know if you believe in it, but it's like fate, right? You were designed to kind of do this because you were a bartender and you were into the culinary industry, and now you've landed on cupcakes and you're combining both of those together. It's no wonder that everybody's like craving the shit out of your cupcakes.
That's really nice. Thanks.
No,
Diaz, do you have any fucking formal culinary training?
None. I did not go to school.
Hell yeah. Give me some fucking nuts on that. Ches, I love you to death. Like, and he is a very good cook, or chef.
No, I'm a cook.
But he's like, well, I learned how to, you got to put the onions in first and everything. But sometimes I just like to go on instinct, and you really seem to have a really good instinct on this, and that's awesome. But
should we try your cupcake? Is now the appropriate time?
Should we put it in your face holes? Yeah.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah. Can I save one of these for?
Yeah, these are your guys's. I'm not taking these home.
Yeah, I definitely want to save one for my girlfriend too. So we're about ready to try.
I'll tell you what the cupcake is.
Yeah,
so
please.
I do private orders, obviously, and one of my really good friends, Scott Haley, works for Mindful Coffee Company, and it was his son's 17th birthday, and his son just really wanted Black Forest, and he's just like, do you think, like, it was so funny how he came to me, do you think you have time? And I was like, dude, I always have time for you. Like, yeah, let's go. And so this is a chocolate cake with fresh cherries that I had to pit by hand. Super fun.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And then I actually used Salt Flats. I used their bourbon because obviously I knew I was going to come on the show, and I was like,
Bonneville bourbon, shout out.
I got to do the bourbon. So it has that. This is a black cherry cream cheese frosting, chocolate chips, and then fancy chocolate drizzle. I did not make the chocolate drizzle. I just didn't have time. So
I accidentally got some spoiler alert. I got some of the cherry cream cheese.
Have you guys ever been taught how to eat a cupcake properly?
No, I was going to ask you, how do you attack it?
Make it a sandwich.
You make it a sandwich. So you rip the bottom off, and then you put it on top of the frosting.
Dude, Ches, wait a second. Let's just address the fact that Ches is like, where have you been eating all these cupcakes from, dude? Because
he's on it.
Yeah, you are.
Well, then it's a sandwich, and then you get equal parts of cake and frosting throughout the entire.
I know. I'm so intimidated by it in a way.
Hold on. Am I doing this right? So I take the
rip the bottom off.
Bottom off? Holy shit. I had no fucking. That makes so much sense.
You didn't watch me do that on Thursday when I tried the.
No.
The tiramisu cupcake?
I got my cupcake before you even got there, bro.
You did.
I no wonder I woke up the next day and I had fucking frosting in my mustache.
And CD wanted to eat them off of the air, right?
Nailed it.
Oh, wow.
I'm just making a big ass mess.
I think that's part of it, though.
Yeah, I don't think cake was meant to.
You're going to need a vacuum down here.
Frosting? A cherry frosting? That's where you balance everything out. Like,
thank you. Yeah.
Oh, my God. The acidity from the cherries? And you wanted to eat these like before the show.
He
really?
did. He wanted to annihilate them this morning.
He's like, nobody wants to hear anybody eat anything on the air. But then we also learned something now, which is the cupcake sandwich. You got to do that.
I stand corrected. Sorry.
Do you have another paper towel over there? Or did you just get one for you?
Oh, there's one right there.
Going for everybody.
I should have brought you guys like some towelettes.
It's interesting because I definitely pick up on the bourbon too.
Yeah.
So do you cook it off? I mean, this cupcake's not going to get you drunk, right?
No,
I can give this to my sober friends.
Yeah, totally. So I've given them to my nieces and nephews. Everything's fine. There's not enough alcohol that's going to affect you at all. You would be an instant diabetic if you try to get drunk off the cupcakes, which please don't do that. I should make people sign a waiver. But I do, so I put it in the batter as well. I don't put as much liquor in the batter just because it does cook off faster. But I reintroduce it basting.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it soaks into the cake. So now it's in it to win it.
So you said basting? Holy shit.
Where I learned one term. I was like, how do I sound legit though?
So do you have a brick and mortar location?
No, not yet.
Okay.
So currently I bake out of the Leonardo Museum. That's where my commissary kitchen is. And my kitchen mate is actually a really talented baker. She does challah back dough. Mm-hmm. So she does like challah bread. And it's delicious, but it's the two of us that share the space. And before that, I was using Hopkins' kitchen. So in Sugar House, I was baking there. Chad was nice enough to be like, hey, man, like, I know you're going to need a spot if you want to go legit. So let's go. And I was just like, oh yeah, that's dope. But I had to, outgrew that space. I needed more. So Scott Haley, again, my homie who I made these for, was the food and beverage director at the Leo for a little bit. And he was like, hey, I know you're looking for space. Commissary space is expensive.
That's what I've heard.
I was going to ask
Dude.
you, and I didn't want to get too personal because I've been interested in opening up a food truck, but
Yeah.
you don't have to give us numbers or anything, and maybe I can bend your ear off air or whatever. But when you say commissary, I don't know if people realize. Maybe you can explain to the listener exactly what a commissary space is.
Right. So if you are a food truck, if you are someone who wants to do packaged goods, some people are fortunate that they can get a cottage license where they can license their home as long as you don't have like porous countertops, no animals, and you can keep your kitchen space clear of that. Then you can bake at home, like the chocolatiers, some in town, like they do that there. But if you want to be a packaged good items going through the Department of Agriculture, you have to have a commissary kitchen. You can't just bake out of your house.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
sell
that's what it is.
and be legit.
Even
So
if it's just like mixing a batter or a dough or
yeah.
Yeah, you can't
You have
cook
to do
anything out of your-
Nothing. Yeah. It has to
everything
be-
from step A to the final product has to be in.
Yeah, like
the
I think I'm
commissary.
allowed to, like, my plastic guys, like if it gets delivered to my house, like it can chill there for a second, but then it has to go to the commissary. Like
Yeah.
everything that your business is run through has to be there. And so I was super fortunate. It just, everything aligned. Like I thank my lucky stars all the time. Like how lucky of a human am I? Like where did I land where like things are just like, hey, here you go.
You know what? I think there's a lot to be said about like the cupcake we just had. And I had another one on I think when David came in or there's
It's Travis.
Travis.
The
Yeah, when
Travis,
Travis
yeah.
came in, it was
Trying to remember
delicious.
what kind it was.
It had to do with the one of the canned cocktails.
Oh yeah, it might have been like a Long
Oh.
Island iced tea
Or was it
cupcake.
was it a
or something.
Moscow Mule cupcake?
No, it may have been the Sex on the Beach.
Tequila
Oh, Tequila Sunrise.
Tequila
Yeah.
Sunrise.
Yeah,
okay.
oh, I remember now,
Yeah.
dude. Seriously, like I haven't even gone through the Instagram feed. I have no clue how many different cupcakes I've actually made because I don't think my brain wants to process that.
You've made a shitload,
Dude,
by the way.
have you counted?
No, I didn't count,
Someone
but I
count.
did go through.
Yes. If anyone wants to count how many different ones I've had, I will give you a free dozen.
But I think you definitely a little bit of luck in creating a business like that, but then also like you create a product that people like enjoy and believe in. You know what I mean? And that helps a lot. What do you think was your biggest struggle to transition from like, oh, I think I can do this kind of full time?
Right. So I just closed out my 3rd month of going full time. The struggle was more mental than anything else, just because, I mean, as a bartender, we make pretty good money, right? And we get to have a fun job. And so it was really, when I was trying to make the decision and make the actual jump, I kind of have to get kicked in the butt, basically, to do it. And
Yeah.
so my partner at the time was just like, look, A, I'm tired of you complaining about your job, because sometimes bartending sucks.
Sure.
Okay, drunk people are not
Drunk
always
people
fun.
puke. Yeah.
Ugh, all
gotta be
that.
a
The late
therapist.
nights, you know what I mean? Yeah, you got to be a therapist, and I'm like, I don't get paid that well. But I think everything was just weighing like on the 15 years of doing it, right? The time, like sometimes you're not out of there until like midnight, 1 a.m., and then
Yeah.
your sleep's all fucked. And so, you know, did a pro and cons list. And I was just like, you know what? Cupcakes make me so fucking happy. It's so dumb to say out loud. But I get to go to this space that's mine, and I get to blast metal music, and I get to fucking belt it out. No one else is there unless Britt's there. Britt's usually gone by like noon. So I'm a later baker. I am not the early riser baker.
Yeah.
My venues don't open till 3, bro.
Yeah.
What the hell do you think I'm going to do at 3 a.m. at the bakery? Nah.
Yeah, you combine the best of both worlds in your world too. Like you were a bartender and you're like, okay, I'm going to get out of that, but I'm going to do my baking. And then you take advantage of the times when you'd normally be asleep now to support the people who are waking up later that are
Yeah.
bartenders.
No,
It's perfect.
I mean, if I can give you guys like a rundown of the week, like Mondays and Tuesdays are usually my run around town and pick up the beer or the liquor or the idea, the concept, whatever my venues want. Then I go shopping, and then I bake Tuesdays, Wednesdays. Thursdays I bake in the morning for Salt Flats. And then when I drop off cupcakes, I just get to see all the people that are going to be there enjoying them. And I get to have a pint with them, and I get to talk to them and just fucking hang out. And then I get to do it all again next week. It's
That
fucking
sounds
rad.
amazing.
It's
Like,
such a
honestly,
great
that
job. I love my job.
I imagine that's
rewarding.
like cooking in a restaurant too. You know, you prep all day and then you finally get to service and everybody's like, "Oh my god, it's so good." That's like your reward at the end of the week.
It does make me happy when I see someone that I don't know. Like I go to Bewilder a lot because I used to work there, and I just hide in the corner. I like do my invoices, I do my stuff, and one of the bartenders will always be like, dude, that lady asked for your cupcake. And I was like, which one did you get? Because they usually get 2 flavors. And then I just sit in the corner and I just like watch like a creeper. I'm just like, I'm like, did she like it though?
When they're like, oh my God, this is so,
I get
so
the
good.
head
You're
bob.
like, yeah.
It's this. I look for the head bob. And
Like I did my job.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go next week.
There's something about that. I had a couple friends over last night, my girlfriend, and I was making steaks. And before I can even cut into my steak or even do anything, I'm watching them like.
Yeah.
Do you make steaks, Diana?
That first. Diana. No.
Well, that was.
Yeah, I get you, motherfucker. Sorry, my girlfriend's named Diana, but
But is she dirty? Like Michael Jackson's song.
that's so funny because
It's a good song.
I've never heard that song in my entire life, but all of my friends keep on bringing that up. Dirty.
Yeah, it's a great song.
But yeah, there's something about watching someone enjoy. Just like you put so much soul and love and passion into this. Just watching take that first bite.
But then
something else,
flip
head
that
bob.
energy, right? And we were talking about Grid City off air for a hot second, and when they asked me to make that vegan cupcake, sweating bullets. Just
Yeah, that was going to be my next
profusely.
question is what's the one, and it's got to be that vegan cupcake.
It
Like,
haunted me for like the whole week.
were you just worried about it like
I was
nonstop,
so
like
worried
losing
about
sleep?
it because I mean I'm not a vegan. First of all, I'm not a classically trained baker, but I'm definitely not a vegan baker. And when it was requested, I like immediately like anxiety. Shit. And
But you said yes.
I said yes because I'm super confident in the moment.
Hell yeah.
I'm like, I can do it, like freeze frame. And so, but I did so much research. I think my brain got fried by all the research that I did. And I looked up recipes and I looked up, how to do, this. And then now I'm baking with the booze and it's vegan. So all of these things, I'm super fortunate that my kitchen mate also does vegan challah bread. And so I asked her, I picked her brain. I was like, dude, what do I substitute? Like, how can I make this delicious? But I got to crunch it, and the time's got to be now because I don't have years to figure this out. I got it like for 3 days.
Wait,
like,
vegan challah bread?
yeah, she does vegan challah bread.
Yeah.
And she does
Ches
gluten-
has joined the
She
conversation.
does.
Well, no, that's
Hi,
just-
welcome. Hello.
Really
welcome to
kind
the
of
show.
blows my
On
mind
this
since it's since a challah is such an eggy bread to begin with.
Yeah, so there's an egg replacer that you can use. Some people use applesauce. Like there's different chia seeds. Like there's so
Damn.
many different things that you can do to convert a baked good into a vegan baked good. And so I had to weigh all the options. I had to see what was going to give me the quickest return for what I needed. And so, and then the frosting messed me up because I was just like, oh my God. I was like, I do cream cheese frosting.
Can't do that.
Can't do that. That's butter and cream cheese, bro.
Yep.
Can't do that. So I had to go find like almond. I think I found almond cream cheese, and then a butter, like a vegan
Where
butter.
the fuck do you find almond cream cheese?
Yeah, you're welcome. I had to walk around a lot of stores. Okay. So much walking.
Whole Foods.
I should have gone to Whole Foods. I should have. I didn't. I really love going to Winco just because they do have like bulk options, and their bulk section. A lot of my cupcakes have like, sometimes I find cool like sour gummies or like a cookie or something like, but it's in bulk and I can count it out specifically so I don't have waste. Winco is the best. But yeah, so that cupcake though, severe anxiety. It was bad. And
But you did it.
I did it.
And everybody liked it?
Yeah, they loved it. I
See,
even
there you
got
go.
a local vegan.
Did you like it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was good. But I don't eat vegan desserts. So I was different for my palate. And I'm sure I had a vegan food blogger tag me and like share it on Instagram. And as soon as she gave me the seal of approval, I was like, oh, you can breathe now.
Yeah.
Oh God. The pain in your chest.
That is hard. Like I'm not vegan either, but if I cook with like a vegan cheese or something, I can definitely tell like a difference. And I think that's always been like a focal point of vegan food is, oh, it's got to be exactly the same. That's why like the Impossible Whopper exists, right?
Okay.
And it's still not the same, but if you eat vegan food all the time, like you kind of get in that
If
zone.
you're used to that palate or the flavor, then you're used to it. But I'm not used to it, so I didn't know if I was fucking up or if it was good. And then so I took it like straight to Grid City when I finished. And I don't think Drew was eating sweets at the time because it was it
Lent?
Maybe no. I think he just cut sugar out, and so but he was specifically the reason. But one of his subordinates, one of his like employees, ate it, and they were just like, "Holy shit!" And I was like, "Oh, good, okay, wonderful."
So you don't drop off a test before. You just kind of
Nope.
bake them out and
It's
you trust yourself,
full
and then you
send,
say,
bro.
"Hey, here I am."
There it is.
Well, see, and that's confidence in cooking or baking, even, and cooking. You have the palate for it, This cupcake is crazy.
Yeah, I know. I kind of want to eat another.
I was like, there is another one. There's 2 more.
We got to take a good picture of at least one of them. That's what I was going to tell you in like 5 minutes. But.
Yeah, sure. That makes sense. Do you, what about like gluten free? Does anyone ask for that shit? Is that like a obstacle you've had to work with?
I've not taken that request. I've been asked to do gluten free, but I'm not that baker, right? Like there's other talented people that have honed that in. So, and it sounds shitty, but I don't have time to try to figure that out for like a specific, like a dozen.
You're not in the business of making dog biscuits. Basically.
I've made dog biscuits.
No, but that's what basically gluten free is to me. Is like you're making a fucking dog biscuit. That's what it tastes like.
I mean, nothing against gluten free bakings. I've had some stuff that's really actually delicious. Gluten free pizza crust is good. Every once in a while to switch it up. But there are so many talented bakers in Salt Lake City that do that specifically that I don't want to take business from them because I'm also not wanting to do a bad job at it. So it's like, I'm not going to take this dozen order that's like a $40 order and try to stress myself out to try to figure it out and hone it in if that's not the market that I'm going for. And so why not just push that request to someone else who knows what they're doing and can take that order.
You've got some talented colleagues that you can,
for sure.
And hopefully they shoot some business.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten referrals all the time. People are like, so-and-so is looking for boozy X, Y, and Z. Like, so we referred you. And I was like, dope. Someone wanted vegan. I referred you. Like, so yeah, it's all.
Is it specifically boozy cupcakes? Do you fuck with anything else? Obviously you said you're chef mate or your
kitchen mate.
Is that like a technical term?
I mean, that's what I call her.
Yeah, why not?
But she's my roommate, but she's my kitchen mate.
I mean, she's the professional. You gotta ask her that.
No, but like, so anyway, she's gonna make the vegan challah bread. But do you ever make anything else? Is just
you mean besides cupcakes?
Yeah,
specifically. Yeah, I've made cheesecakes. I've made mini pies. When Pie and Beer Day happened in 2020, I was doing pop-up bake sales at Shades every week. And they were like, Pie and Beer Day's coming up. And I was like, oh, shit. And so my ex, his grandmother gave us a cookbook, and she has a dope pie crust recipe. And so I actually made mini pies the size of cupcakes. It was a pain in the dick. But it was so cute. And so I will substitute the pain for cuteness. Anytime.
You're basically making a bunch of little pies.
Yes, dude. It was tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super time consuming. But I created, so they were releasing a mixed berry sour at the time. And so I did a mixed berry compote with the beer, and that was the pie. So that was fun.
Have you met Bad Brad? You know Brad Wheeler?
Mm-mm.
Anyway, I think he has the Pie and Beer Day, like it's an official event. And he just got his official, like, liquor license.
Bro, I should be friends with that dude.
Anyway, he's a popular local DJ. He used to DJ for KRCL 90.9 public radio.
Dope.
But anyway, he's always done something with Pie and Beer Day, and so I would definitely hit him up. But
yeah,
he's
that'd be
a
awesome.
really cool guy. I don't know him personally. I've met him a couple times, but yeah, Pie and Beer Day, that's going to be coming up here in a couple weeks. Local Utah holiday.
Yep.
Do you have anything about Utah that's like kind of endearing that you said you moved here in 2019?
I did move here in 2019. Yep.
So anything that's endearing to Utah that you like?
I don't know specifically endearing, but the community is so tight knit and so supportive of each other, and I think that's what I love the most about living here. We talked briefly in the car, and I've lived in several different places. I grew up in San Jose. I lived in Vegas for 18 years, lived in Austin, Texas for 2, went back to Vegas, and now we're here. And this is by far, I think Salt Lake City and Utah in general has my heart. It's just so pretty. I can go to the mountains in like 30 minutes and it's beautiful. And, we have such a dope beer scene and distillery scene. Like the spirits that are being pumped out in Salt Lake or in the surrounding areas, magical.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's so good. Like Holy Stone's probably one of my favorite partners that I've worked with. And Barbie and Mike are so nice, and they're just so supportive, and they didn't even know me. And they were just like, no, we love your concept. We want to help you. And like, I had cider with Barbie when I was dropping off cupcakes for Scion Cidery, the new cider bar that just opened.
Ches and I were talking about checking that place out soon.
Dude, you should go. They have over 140. So Yeah, we have a cider brokery in town called Ibon Tech, and he's just bringing in ciders from all over, and it'll blow your brain because people think cider, they're like, oh, Angry Orchard, and it's like, no, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
You mean a
That's the
nasty
Bud Light of
sugar
fucking
bomb?
ciders.
Yo, for real. Maybe worse. Think of a different one. But either way, but like to be able to have these fun connections and like have a cider with Barbie from Holy Stone while Rio is bartending and then Chad Hopkins was at the bar sitting there. It's just to be able to walk into somewhere and just feel like you're at home. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel when I'm here.
We have to talk about our sponsor real quick. I have so many more questions, and I want to bring your brain more about the local scene because you've obviously had some really good opportunities to check out a lot of different places. So we want to hear more about who you bake cupcakes for and the different things you like to try and your favorite drinks. But real quick, a word from our sponsor. Hey guys, we want to tell you about our friends over at Salt Flats. So Diaz, we have been going to Salt Flats Brewery on Thursdays because they have the Firkin Thursday, and you obviously have your cupcakes there. And I want you to kind of help us with this ad a little bit. But anyway, Salt Flats is located at 2020 West Industrial Circle. You can find their beer and their cocktail, or their spirits and their craft cocktails in the State Liquor Store, your favorite restaurants, your favorite pubs, or the grocery store or whatever. But we encourage you guys to check out the brewery because of the Firkin Thursdays and what you're doing with the cupcakes. Like, you are making a very specific cupcake for a very specific beer, and I want you to tell us about this week's Firkin. And by the way, happy 4th of July weekend. We hope you guys stayed safe and had a good time. But this is happening every Thursday at Salt Flats, and this week we are having...
So it's a Tom Ka lime Firkin.
Oh my God!
What's Tom Ka for somebody who might be listening? That
Is there
doesn't
some
know?
coconut?
It's a coconut milk
Tom Ka
soup. Yeah, is it Thai?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like a Thai soup.
It's one of my favorites.
So good.
Tom Ka
Coconut lime
cupcake,
dude.
And we're having a Tom Ka coconut lime beer.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, my favorite thing. I think Salt Flats is probably one of my favorite accounts, just because it's a weekly challenge.
Yeah.
Right. So when I drop off the original cupcake on Thursday, that's when I get the insider information for next week's, and they gave me the base beer because I can't make cupcakes with the Firkin itself, but they gave me the base beer, and then I get to play with all of the flavors that are being presented to me for the next week. So I basically get Thursday to Monday for my brain to like process all of the ingredients. How are you going to turn this into a cupcake? How is it going to look? How do you think it should look? All of these things, which again is my favorite part of the job, because you're always challenged. You're never just stagnant and being like, I'm making red velvet this week. Like, I've made that cupcake.
Yeah, you've made like an orange creamsicle cupcake for
Yep.
Salt Flats. You've made. I've got your Instagram up.
Oh, cool.
So
I was like, you're so good at your job.
I know. I'm trying. Raspberry mule cupcake.
That was a good one.
That's got to be crazy to like figure out. Yeah, you've done a ton for them, which is...
I think the weirdest one was when they did the pickle Firkin, and when Amanda told me what the next week's Firkin was, she's like, you're not going to like it. I was like, what is it, though? And she's like, it's a pickle beer. And I was like, go fuck yourself. I was like, I have to make a pickle cupcake, bro?
I'm sure it turned out delicious.
It sold out. That's the quickest cupcake that sold out.
Really?
Really?
It was crazy.
It sold out better than the peach cobbler cupcake that you made for them? It's got a peach ring on top.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
It looks so good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So
Check
check
your Instagram before I get diabetes.
Where's your insulin shot?
I don't know.
Check out Salt Flats. We appreciate them very much. They've been supporting this community for a very long time, and they support this podcast, and we hope you guys support them. Great beer, great cocktails, great fucking spirits. Check them out. Salt Flats, 2020 West Industrial Circle.
So do you have like a dream cupcake that you've been thinking, like in the back of your mind? You're like, I wonder if this would work, but I don't have time to create it yet. And you're just waiting for somebody to be like, okay.
Yo, do it.
Yeah.
I think I want to make like the world's most expensive cupcake.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
going to say gold leaf.
I've used edible gold, but I just want to like get together like a list of like the most decadent sought after, expensive ingredients.
Okay.
Right.
You got to call up 2 Chainz for that shit.
Right. Yo, I love 2 Chainz.
Yeah,
Don't
let's
fuck with me.
collab
I
with
might
2
be a
Chainz.
metalhead, but I'm Different is my favorite 2 Chainz song just because his lyrics are ridiculous.
You know the 2 Chainz reference though, like he has that show called Most Expensivest.
Oh, I don't know. I don't watch TV. I don't have time for TV.
So it's on the Vice channel. It's called Most Expensivest, and he seeks out the most expensive things.
Damn, I want to feed 2 Chainz.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he goes to Vegas and he's like, I have the most expensive steak, or I have the most, like, there's an episode where he samples and tries out a can of air.
Yeah, the most expensive
Where did the
can
air
of air.
come from?
Spaceballs.
No, seriously, he fucking pops up a can and he's like, and then there's
What
this
if
guy.
A
He's very
canned
honest
fart, though. What if it was a fart instead of air?
Then we're getting into like some OnlyFans shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you see that chick that was selling her farts?
No,
Yeah.
dude, I don't see anything.
Oh my
Aw.
god.
Just cupcakes.
Yeah, this chick, she was had a healthy, fibrous diet. Ate lots of like protein shakes and ate lots of mushrooms or whatever fucking things that make you gassy. And then she would fart in a jar and put a rose petal in it. And yeah, she was selling them shits for like $1,000
I'm
bucks.
selling the wrong stuff, y'all.
Yeah, and she sold like 100 of them. She made like a small fortune off selling her farts, but she ended up getting really sick because she's just basically eating beans and protein shakes fucking all
I
day.
feel like you have a weird infatuation with this because
I
like
kind of
the
feel
third.
like you want to start this yourself.
Yeah, there's like the third episode you brought this up on, and you're just like this girl.
Is
man.
it like David's bidet that he used to talk about all the time?
Oh, David still talks about the bidet.
No, he doesn't. He hasn't.
Oh.
Not this year.
I thought he brought it up when we did our maybe
Food
not.
challenge?
Yeah, I think he did bring it up
was
on the
wait,
food
we
challenge.
talked about
Was that
bidet?
last year though?
That was this year.
But at the
Shout
risk,
out to David.
oh, what's up? Shout out to David. No, but at the risk of sounding disingenuous, I kind of feel like being kind of a schmuck piece of shit and selling my own farts and then just like randomly generating. There's that, this person isn't real.
Just a fake headshot.
So to Diaz and to the listener, if you don't know, there's a website called This Person Isn't Real. So I'm not like taking someone's actual image, and I'm just going to keep on clicking until it's an AI website that they make people's faces. And
Huh.
It's creepy.
yeah,
That
and
sounds
it's
horrible.
it's crazy how accurate they are. And so I'm just going to keep on clicking until I find like a picture of a really hot girl, and then I'll be like, hey, I'm selling my fingernails.
You're just fart catfishing at that point.
I'm
Fart
selling-
catfishing. That sounds horrible.
I'm selling my toenail clippings. I'm like, damn, this girl's got some big ass toes, bro. But
It doesn't generate.
No,
it just generates their face, not their feet.
I know, but I will put the face in like this. I'm this hot chick who's whatever, but I'm just gonna sell my old foot fungusy ass fucking toenails, like
So besides toenails
It's like
and farts, like what expensive ingredients would you
right.
use
Yeah.
to make
So
your
we
cups?
digress. into
Wait, I
different
got to cut in
ingredients.
here really quick.
That was the sickest segue I've ever done on the show.
So, do you know what this lady is selling now?
No.
I've heard, but remind me and the listener.
Breast sweat.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
I heard
yeah.
about that. Yeah, okay. But
First of all,
who's to say
that's-
she didn't just get a really shitty bottle of water, like lower than Dasani, and like, yeah, it's my breast sweat.
Or it's CD Reddish from Salt Lake City, Utah, just
maybe.
selling my fucking ass crack sweat.
Yeah.
So, anyways, sorry, Diaz. Most expensive cupcake. What's on the
yeah.
ingredient
I mean,
list?
I haven't actually, gone off the deep end and
Would you
looked
put
for these
caviar on
ingredients. Dude? That's
I'm
dope.
sure you could come up with a cupcake
That'd be
with caviar.
sick, right? I know. I want to create it in my brain before I even like put it out in the world,
Yeah.
obviously. But that would be cool to like.
Like foie gras
I love
on it. That would be good.
Maybe some breast sweat.
How much is it going for though?
Yeah, a little
$500 a jar,
No, that's too expensive.
Wait, what?
or $500 for like a little vial.
Maybe what you could do is
That's
you, oh,
That
now we're
could be the
thinking
water
too-
ingredient.
Yeah.
I was gonna say maybe you give it to one of the breweries around here and make a beer out of it.
Oh God.
Okay, at the risk of sounding disgusting, but obviously I am the master of knowledge when it comes to disgusting weird things to eat and put in your mouth. But there is a beer, at least that used to be made, that was made from yeast, vaginal yeast.
What?
I'm
that
sure it's
sounds like
possible.
shenanigans.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
yeah. No, look it up, Ches. We got a fact checker for this very reason. Vaginal yeast beer. I shit you not. Like,
Okay,
we.
all I had to type in was vaginal yeast, and the first thing was beer.
Beer.
Huh.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord Commander
Thanks,
Google.
Internet. The WW.
Yeah,
Give us a
Yoni.
give us a little description of this vaginal yeast beer here.
Let's see. I'm trying to find one here.
Like we were doing so good.
Featuring a sour aftertaste and a woman's allure.
Oh my God.
Ugh.
It's just crazy. Like we live in a weird world. Like I'm surprised you haven't noticed that we have Italian lasagna flavored crickets here on the
Oh,
table.
I wasn't even looking.
Yeah, maybe
Can I
you can
try
make
one?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they're super dry.
We actually encourage
beer
people.
here.
Yeah, true.
I've put all kinds of weird shit in my face hole, so I'm not worried. I'm Latin and I dated a Filipino, so I had balut. Is delicious.
Oh my God!
Oh yeah, I've heard about that.
It's
I
gotta
love
be so
balut.
difficult to like mentally get over eating that though.
No,
No, it isn't.
it's just a chicken.
Yeah, but
So can you explain to the listener exactly what balut is?
Can I put this in my face first?
yeah, of
of course.
course.
Oh, that's good.
it's not bad.
No.
Yeah, it's just
Roasted
crickets.
crickets.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right.
It's so funny because we've had guests down here and like, oh no, I will not have crickets. And
Kurt still hasn't
like,
tried the cricket yet. You want to try one, dude?
Dude, they're so good. They just taste like chicharron.
Chicharron.
chicharron. Yeah.
Just try one, man. Kurt, is
You
today
can't
the day?
even tell it's crickets.
That's awesome.
Did
I
you
think
say you
that's-
don't know what a chicharron is?
I don't know what that is.
Oh my God.
Pork rinds.
Pork,
Yeah,
yeah,
fuck
pork
that
skin.
shit.
Fried pork rinds.
Fried
Delicious.
pork skin.
So bad for your heart, though.
That's great.
I think as a gourmand or as a cook or a chef or anyone that works in the kind of food industry, you have to be an adventurous eater. And I
You
think
have to.
Yeah.
So, to answer your question, balut is an aborted chick egg.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's an undeveloped chicken, essentially, but it still has, like, the bones have kind of developed and the beak has kind of developed. So, it's just a
Do you eat
crunchy-
the whole thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, all of it. Because it's they boil it. So, it's essentially a hard boiled egg
But
with the chicken.
yeah,
Like,
it looks super intimidating, but
No,
I
it's fucking
totally
great.
would try anything.
dude,
Like,
hot sauce. Boom.
I've been trying to talk these guys into trying durian.
What is that?
It's like a
I've just been waiting for you to bring it.
I'm probably gonna do it one day. But basically, it's a custardy fruit that has the taste of like death and like caramelized onions,
Or
But
the
people
smell
so-
of.
the smell of. Yeah, you're not allowed to open it indoors in like China and things like that.
Oh.
But what they say is, if you can acquire the taste of it, it's like the most complex fruit that you'll ever taste. And people
I
who
would
really
try
have
that.
it love it. I've tried it twice, haven't acquired it yet.
Yeah.
But
Wait,
it's
you've
gnarly.
tried it?
Yeah, I've tried it twice, and I'm like, ugh.
I
Is
didn't
it
know
like-
that you tried it.
Is it like Malort? Have you tried that? Like, you can only find it in Chicago.
I
It's
haven't
like
tried Malort.
it's like worse than I think Fernette's delicious, but
I love Fernet.
Yeah,
Malort.
Fernet is the bartender's handshake. So if you go to a bar
Mm-hmm.
and you ask for Fernet, the bartender immediately knows that you are also a bartender
Mm-hmm.
because only crazy people take shots of Fernet for pleasure.
Yeah, and I like
I
Fernet
am one of those
after
people. I love Fernet.
After I eat a big meal, like
Yeah,
I
you
want to go
have
get a
to.
shot of Fernet, and then like it calms my stomach down. Or
Yep.
like Underberg is the same way, just a digest.
Digestivo.
Digestif.
Yeah.
Digestivo. Wade came to pick me up today, and Ches and I were camping last week, and our friend Cluse was picking these little fir tips off of all the trees. I'm like, what are you doing with those little fir tips? You have to make sure that you buy the young, immature fir tips, and they're tender and they're moist or whatever. And she was putting them into this jar. I'm like, well, what are you doing? She's like, I'm making a fir tip soda. I'm like, well, shit. I want to try that too. So
I would like that in
I
my
made
face
sure that I
hole
went
as
around.
well.
I picked up all the fir tips and make sure the ones that I hadn't been peeing on for the last week because we're outdoors camping.
So get them from above waist high.
You
Yeah,
can,
above
you can
waist
sell
high.
those for way more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
dude,
I
500
picked up
pop.
all these fir tips and I had a little mason jar and I put them in, and then I filled up. I completely submerged them in vodka.
Yeah. Oh.
And I let them sit in there for a little over a week, and then yesterday I made a brown sugar simple syrup, and I did equal parts of the fir tip soaked vodka. I strained the vodka, so it's just it turned out green, obviously, because
Yeah.
it's pine needles, and then the simple syrup, and it made this like super complex, like very fragrant floral liqueur, but it's not something you want to drink a shot of.
Yeah, it's
something
like
Yeah.
if Chuck Norris was the forest and he roundhouse kicked you in the face. Like,
But-
it definitely.
So, like, why didn't you bring it, though?
I thought I should have,
What a
and
dick.
so Wade came over to pick me up and said, "Just trust me, try this." And he's like, motherfucker, you always putting weird things in my mouth.
Those are the best kind of friends, though.
Yeah.
How else are you supposed to expand your palate?
It's really good. But anyway, to tie the whole story full circle, is it tastes a lot like Fernet. It reminds me a lot of like
Really?
Yeah.
I fucking dude. I have the Menta and I have the regular in my fridge, and then in Vegas,
where do you get the Menta at?
In Vegas.
Motherfucker.
So. And then I also was fortunate enough that when I lived there, I bought a bunch of the mini Fernets. So, like, if I know I'm going somewhere.
What the fuck? I didn't even know these things existed.
Yes. So,
I think we can get mini bottles here now. At least I heard on July 1st the law was changing.
Either way, tiny little Fernet bottles are cute as fuck. And you just put them right in my purse.
So, to the listener, maybe you can describe. Oh no, we already did that.
Yeah, we just
did a good job.
It's just really, it's interesting. It's really hard to describe it. It's like putting like that's herbs. Liquid
it's
herbs
very earthy. It's super herbal. It's Jaeger's fancier cousin.
Yeah, you'd say Jaeger, and most people know. Like,
they're like, oh, okay.
They either instantly hate it or they're like, I'll
it's
try
so
it.
good, but it has to be chilled. Like, it has to be kept in the fridge. If you drink warm Fernet, you're weird. You're weird.
Yeah, I've done it.
It's rough. It's a little more hot.
It hurts.
Yeah, it's
CD used to drink warm Fernet all the time.
Yeah.
He'd have it in a
out in the
carafe.
sun.
I did have it in a carafe, and I put a big sticker on it that said
Fernie.
maybe I shouldn't say
yeah,
this
you
on
probably should save that for after the show.
Yeah. It was something inappropriate, but some kind of juice.
Weird. Ass juice from the Double Down
Ass
Saloon.
juice. It's worse. I don't even know how that came, but anyway. Yeah, sorry,
But
audience, you don't get to hear that one.
Would you ever be interested in making a Fernet cupcake?
Of course, obviously.
Have you ever fucked with that?
I haven't. No, mainly because it's not something it's not an acquired taste by most people. So it would be very specific to the venue, right? So I could see maybe the Water Witch holding something like that, White Horse, like a very cocktail heavy bar.
Oh, White Horse. I love that place.
I love that place. Yeah, Trace is doing great shit with all of his restaurants.
Yeah.
Shout out White Horse. But I could see a venue like that where like Fernet is flowing could do well. If I got a private order for Fernet, I would be so happy.
Yeah.
Someone order it, please.
So I'm curious, me. So let's say I have an idea or a thought or something. I'm like, hey, can you whip this up? Like, can I order a dozen Fernet cupcakes? What is that something that you specialize in?
I do.
Do you do special orders? Can I make a boob sweat cupcake? I'm not necessarily.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Well, what if he provides? What if he buys
if it's
it?
his boob sweat? What kind of cup you got going on?
I got a girlfriend. I think she'd have a problem if I was drinking anyone else's fucking boob sweat
it would
besides
be
hers.
yours. I do, yeah. So I do take on private orders. I usually tack on, just depends on what the ingredient cost is, right? Because I have to cover all my costs. Everything costs money, all of it.
Sure.
And so if it's something off the wall where I now have to source very specific ingredients, that's going to go into the cost of your dozen. Right now, my standard my standard dozen pricing is $40 for anything boozy, $35 for anything non-alcoholic.
Okay.
Which is not, I don't think it's unreasonable.
I don't think that's unreasonable.
That's pretty fucking good. I mean, a bottle of Fernet just itself, is about that price.
Right. I was fortunate when I did live in Vegas. I was a bar manager, so I was given a lot of like sample bottles. They don't do that in Utah.
Yeah.
You can't like roll up to a distillery or I can do that at the breweries because they have low fills. But you can't give things away for free in this state. So it gets really weird. So that's why my pricing has to be very specific, because it's like I end up having to pay for the product. And so, why are you mad though?
Yeah, come on.
Because I'm drinking an
On
IPA.
this episode, there's a waterfall happening.
That's why he sits like across from the
Right? Put him in the corner. No one puts baby in the corner. So, but I do private orders. Again, if it just depends on the cost of ingredients, it might be like $5 or $10 more than my normal dozen. But I work with everyone, and I vocalize everything. So if you're not comfortable with the price that you're paying, like, it's cool, man. I'm not going to take offense to it. This is just what it costs.
What's the best way to get in touch with you then if somebody did want to order something?
So right now I don't have a website. Fun fact, I'm a one-woman show. So I run everything via Instagram, Facebook, email. You can even text me.
Okay.
My phone lives in my hand, specifically because this is how I run my business.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of grief from my friends. They're like, bro, like, you answered me like hella quick. I'm like, yeah, because it's already in my hand.
Yeah.
Dummy. I was posting something and it popped up. So I was like, oh, my friend. And so I'll just answer right away.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you can always get a hold of me. I try to take like Sundays completely off of stuff just so that I can like decompress and not be a total maniac.
It's the Lord's Day. I don't believe in
and then
God,
we
but it's
invite
Lord's
you
Day.
to come here to work.
El Jesus. Jesus Cristo.
So yeah, just I assume that your social media names are all the same.
So Sweet Vinyl Bakeshop is going to be the best way to get to me. I also am super smart and I'm logged into like 3 other accounts because I'm not busy enough. So
Sure, right.
just keep adding. But yeah, I also manage some other accounts. I also work for Taproot Soda, so I log into their stuff as well. We're doing local pickups right now for them on Tuesdays. So if you order soda,
What's Taproot Soda? I want to hear more about that.
It's a local organic soda. Oh, shiza. Sorry.
That's okay. I did that with my laptop
Touch
earlier.
things.
Getting excited about sodas.
Look, now I'm sitting like a goober again.
Not knowing what to do with your hands again, huh?
Listen, we've already talked about this. Either way, so it's a local organic soda. My friend Mike D is one of the owners, and I
Did he resurrect and used to be part of the Beastie Boys?
Mike D.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mike D.
Do it.
Rest in peace.
Oh, sad face. Should we play some Beasties? So they have amazing soda. It's the only soda that I drink aside from like Mexican sodas.
Do you use like real cane sugar,
They use
turbinado?
local honey. They use local ingredients, and it's just delicious. Lemon, lime, lavender is my favorite soda that they make.
Okay.
Yo, put that shit in gin.
Oh shit.
Holy shit.
You're welcome. Yeah, so good. So either way, so I've partnered with them since I am at the Leo. They needed somewhere local for local pickups. So every Tuesday from noon until 3, we do that there. So yeah, again, just local support and local, man.
Hell yeah.
I know.
it's about.
I'm like, okay, now I have 2 stops to make.
Yeah.
Today after
Yeah,
the
so
podcast.
if you email Taproot, you can order directly from them if you're a wholesaler or if you're just a consumer that wants like a case of their soda.
And you unknowingly hit CD with 2 of his favorite things, the elderflower and then the lavender. He's got a whole cookbook
Dude,
based off of lavender.
I have a
Are you a
whole.
witch?
I'm a Wiccan.
Yeah.
No, not really, but I just like lavender. I love lavender. I made this butter inspired by a guy. He's got a channel called All Things Butter, and I made a burnt jalapeno, garlic, and anchovy butter, and I just slathered it on this corn last night, and I wrapped it up, barbecued it, and then when I finished it, to present it, I sprinkled it with lavender buds, and then I made a filet mignon, and then I basted it with that same butter with
I
thyme.
believe it's called filet mignon.
That's correct. And it was just so good. I mean,
Dude.
I'm a insufferable gourmand. I mean, I just love food so much. But yeah, lavender, you did hit the nail on the
Where
head.
were you when I made my lemon lavender cupcakes, though? For
Well,
Holy Stone.
He's going to order those in a week or so.
You got my number now, so fucking hit.
And I'm just going to send you dick pics. It's going to be funny.
So I got to bring in
This one.
I got to bring in the controversy. Then I like to ask this question to a lot of guests. I haven't done it in a while, but what's your go-to restaurant in the Salt Lake Valley right now?
Oh, I knew you were going to ask me that. Scheiße.
And it's tough because you know a
I
ton
go
of them.
everywhere.
That's the first time I've ever heard a Mexican say shiza twice.
Oh, I'm not your normal Mexican. I love hockey and metal music, so there's that. Favorite restaurant?
It can just
Damn
be for now. I mean, you know how food goes through phases for me at least.
Yeah. So whenever I'm just, first of all, I don't eat very. My eating schedule is dumb because
You're
I'm
busy.
always running. I need an assistant to just eat for me, so that I can actually have a meal.
Yeah.
Put it through your belly through osmosis.
That would be dope, right? Like, hey man, go eat a sandwich. So Grid City.
Okay.
Honestly, like I run to Grid City all the time, and it's so funny because I eat the same thing every time I go there, and now it's being called the Diaz Bowl, and Drew's gonna make fun of me.
Oh, they named it after you?
No, I named it after me.
Oh, shit.
I just come in and I'm like, yo, I need my bowl, and they're like, yeah, we got you.
Yeah, okay.
So it's their Bangkok bowl, so it's a rice base, and they have broccolini. I always do the pulled pork that they have.
Yeah.
There's corn, there's edamame. Oh, it's the perfect combination. It's complex carbohydrates and a protein. That's all your
Sounds
body
good.
needs. Dude, it's so good.
Yeah.
I only deviate when they have lobster rolls. So Drew, get it together.
There you go. Now I got to go eat at Grid City. Fuck.
Yeah, I'm going after this. So
know.
there's that.
Yeah.
Do they have lobster rolls right now?
No, I can check their Instagram.
Oh,
He posts
shit.
the specials every day.
Diaz was To the listener, she was telling us about the lobster rolls they have there, and I'm like, oh my god, you had
It
me.
should just be a staple, but he likes to be selfish. Everything's fine.
That's the thing too. Like, so obviously there's things that are seasonal, right? Do you ever work? Do you ever fuck around and go to the farmers markets on Saturdays and Sundays?
I would love to fuck around and see. I actually drove past the farmers market yesterday, so now I moved from Liberty Wells area to Poplar Grove, right?
Yeah.
I think that's where I said I live now. And I was like, that's right. Pioneer Park does the freaking farmers markets.
Yeah.
So now that I'm living so close to it, I'm just going to ride my bike there. I would love to be that baker, right? That will go and source. I try to source as many local ingredients as it is anyway. So to be able to do that and like walk around and like see all the vendors and see all the farmers, like I want to start doing that. The closest thing that I've gotten to that is just working with all the local businesses right now, because they do that, right? You know what I mean? Everybody sources from everywhere local. My favorite is Solstice Malt, James Weed. So he grows malt that's used in beer, and Salt Flats uses them. Literally almost every local brewery uses them. But it's just that concept of like, hey, I'm doing something and I live here too.
Yeah.
Like, let's work together. That's the most fun for me.
I need to get down to the Pioneer Park. I haven't been down yet for this year's farmers market, but it's great, and that's how, like this shirt right here I bought at the Salt Lake Farmers Market from Panda Propaganda, like just local businesses.
Dude,
and that's,
yeah, I have some pins from a local artist.
I was going to ask you, is this? I feel like you're like a.
This is my battle jacket.
You're like the local kernel of pins right here.
Yeah. I mean, there's a local artist. I bought a couple of her pins. She was at Distilleries. She was at the booth right next to me. I can't remember her name right now. If I got on Instagram, I could find it, and I'm so sorry. But I want to be a walking billboard because Salt Lake has so
We're going to
much.
slap a Messin with Mormons sticker right on your
Get me a
forehead. when you
pin.
live here.
I'll do it.
Let's not do that because we're going to change our name on August 3rd.
Yeah, exactly. But like, so this jacket was made at Kitos by Imbrogio, is a local embroidery company, and he'll go to venues, get like the template for certain things, and you can get shit embroidered for like $15 to $20, I think is what it is.
Wow.
Yeah, he did a Friday the 13th thing at Liberty Park, and I was fucking working, so I missed it. But you could have gotten like, it's like a tattoo flash sheet, but for embroidery.
That's badass.
Dude, it was dope. And I
Yeah.
was like, I really want the skull though. But I missed it because I was working. But so this is embroidered Kitos Brewing, and every time I wear it, they're like, do you work there? And I'm like, yeah, I do. 100%.
Yeah.
I bake for them. That counts as a job.
Where do I get that jacket from? You don't.
He had 2 of them made, and my friend Sarah has the other one. But it's just, I just want to be a walking billboard. And when someone like, they're like, oh, I love your pins. And I'm like, yeah, you do? Look at them. Because they're local distilleries, they're local breweries, they're local artists. Like, just, if we can bleed all of that back into the community, that's what I'm passionate about. That's what I want. And I don't know, it's just it's a beautiful thing.
That's a big reason why we started this podcast, you know, and we've been able to meet some incredible people, including yourself. And it's just for things like that, you know. But I just want to bring up real quick, you had mentioned something with Grid City. They're having a music fest coming up here.
Yes. So Grid City, Drew is a mastermind, and he's creating this hub for South Salt Lake, because everything that is exciting that people connect to Salt Lake doesn't even happen here.
And I think South Salt Lake specifically really needs something. Like South Salt Lake is a really growing part of the valley, you know. When people think of South Salt Lake, you know, it's not necessarily the greatest part of town, or not that it's bad, but
it's changed a lot lately.
It's changed a ton, and you know, and there's lots of breweries popping up and big buildings. And so tell us about this music fest.
So Grid City Music Fest is working together with Commonwealth and all of South Salt Lake's businesses. So Saltfire Brewing, I believe, he's also working with Level Crossing. But it's basically a music festival, and it's 2 days, 3 weekends this summer. So the first one is happening July 16th is actually the free show that you can get on the website. You can get free tickets. So go there now. They also have a set list or a playlist on Spotify that you can listen to all of these artists. I've never listened to any of them, and they're all so talented, and it's so dumb. Like, why aren't people expanding their listening, right, to like all of this music that's available?
Right.
But his focus is, again, to bring everything to South Salt Lake, to create a community that's already there, but there's not a huge voice for it. So, like I said, the first weekend is July 16th and 17th.
Where's it at? Is it at Grit City or?
No, so it's going to be at, let's see here. I believe it's
Commonwealth.
Yeah.
There you go,
Oh, yeah,
Chums.
Which is
Clutch.
just east of.
the
The music
right
venue that's right over there.
Yeah,
it's
it's
tucked
right-
in the back.
It's right by the 21st South track station.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a really awesome music venue, by the way. Awesome.
Hell yeah.
I saw a band there called Moon Hooch,
Ooh.
and they started out as a saxophone duo playing in the streets of the subway of Paris.
Whoa.
And they just were like, and then they got these big road cones, and they put in their fucking saxophones.
Dang.
Anyway, Commonwealth Room.
Yes,
badass
so
place.
Commonwealth Room. And then in August, it's going to be August 5th and 6th. And then the following weekend after that, it's going to be August 20th and 21st. And I'll be set up there with cupcakes. David from Taste Masters is going to be there. I'm going to have Taproot Soda there as well.
And actually, August, we're going to go to the 7th.
Oh, they're doing the 7th as well?
Yes, at least according to their website right here, it says they're going 5th through 7th.
Oh, my birthday.
Dang, so they added another day. That's awesome, which is dope. Yeah, like, again, so just if you want to listen to dope music, if you want to support your local South Salt Lake businesses, freaking come to party.
Or meet you. Meet David. I'm pretty sure at some point we'll be there.
Do
Yeah.
it.
Make a day out of it.
We'll be there on the 16th.
Come hang out.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
have a
just
tent.
do it.
I'm going to be out of town on the 16th, but I definitely want
dare you.
to. I know. Well, I'm going to Montana, so fuck you.
Actually, HR just notified me that you're out of PTO, bud.
Yeah.
You're no mas, Montana.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you
You're
for
amazing.
having me.
Yeah, this has been
was
so much
really
fun.
Yeah.
Again, where do our listeners, anything you want to plug? Where Sweet Vinyl Bakeshop, but I think you have some underscores in there. Maybe
Oh, it's sweet_vinyl_bakeshop. But if you just type in Sweet Vinyl Bakeshop
Should
on
pop right
Instagram,
up.
it'll pop right up. But yeah, if you want to order, just message me, email me, text me. Smoke signals, all of it works.
smoke signals.
Soy India también.
To the listener, that means no Mormons were harmed in the making of this podcast.
I've already got a perfect cupcake that I want you to make for my sister. She grows a rosemary plant in her backyard, so I want to clip a bunch of that and then just give it to you and be like, I made these cupcakes. You made these cupcakes.
Yeah, my favorite is to make like simple syrups with like herbs, fruits. I use that. I usually infuse them in like chocolates.
Oh my God, you're killing me.
I'm
like, I want an artichoke cupcake now.
I wonder if we could come with an idea of a cupcake that you can't